Ain't nobody fucking with the dime like a merchant. So I'm about to drop out the blue like bird shit. Mama was a rider, my daddy was a merchant. Kissed by an angel and licked by a serpent. Before they got K's in the hood like churches. Bullets through the window where the Lord's house of worship. White navigator hit the block, that's a warship. Not the passenger, I can drive side door shit. Hit him with the fam, talking all type of more shit. 40 with the 30 and it chillin' on the folk shit. So shot ill on the mic, I'm dope sick. Got the table mixing with a very high dosage. I think I'm too strong to be chillin' on some broke shit. I think I'm too grown to be on the block posted. I think I'm too wrong to be trying to fuck yo bitch. But look at how the ass and the titties on that whole sit. I think I'm the realest nigga ever, I can merch it. I say I'm the hardest in the city, I can merch it. I'ma take them on a high speed for they search it. I don't really think niggas fucking with my first shit. I'm the realest, I can merch it. You ain't never blew shit down, nigga, merch it. Boy, you a motherfucking clown, I can merch it. When I up, y'all get down, boy, urgent. Really get away from me if you be on some hoe shit. Taking banger pictures, letting niggas take yo shit. Guessing when this motherfucker with me, he roll up. I just popped a yapper and I'm already roll up. Run up in your motherfucking crib if you hold it. Put 3 holes in your head, go boom. Roll and I feel like the dope man. I be spitting crack like the motherfucking coke man. I just got some here for your girl for a soul man. Waves in the hundreds and we ended on the low end. When I'm in the hood, I'm supposed to be in showbiz. Overheard them say it's no biz like snow biz. So I got some grams in the bullet, got focus. Fast on my number and some bags to the road hits. Praying when the boy hit his bitch, all I chin. Daddy trying to get the East Lock like Sing Sing. I think I'm the realest nigga ever, I can merch it. I say I'm the hardest in the city, I can merch it. I'ma take them on a high speed for they search it. I don't really think niggas fucking with my first shit. I'm the realest, I can merch it. You ain't never blew shit down, nigga, merch it. Boy, you a motherfucking clown, I can merch it. When I up, y'all get down, boy, urge it. Urge it, urge it, urge it.
What's good? What's good? What's good? Y'all know what it is. How y'all doing this evening? I know I'm probably pulling y'all away from the Super Bowl. Well, is the Super Bowl still on? How y'all doing this evening? Y'all see the title, them walls is closing in. Them walls closing in. Now, if for those didn't catch the live from earlier today, when I showed, appreciate that everybody came in, YOLO, LaQuetta, everybody up in here. Appreciate that, always do. If y'all didn't see the live from earlier, those of you who did, you notice at the bottom of the Teresa post that I showed earlier, where she put PS, Bree was the one that called me. So do y'all recall when Shamaya said that she was the one? Shamaya tried to make us believe that she was the one that called. She was the one that called. And just because Bree called, we ain't cutting her ass loose too. We're not cutting her loose. We're not gonna cut Bree no slack just because she made the phone call to the mother that night. Because we clearly recall, we all can recall, watching the video when they ran from the hotel through the parking lot to the car. So obviously they knew something. And then on top of that, they were leaving without Kanika. They were running. So, I mean, we can only assume that at that point that they knew something. We can only assume that they knew something. Black Diamond, yeah, appreciate you. Shout out to Black Diamond. She always come in and lock it down for us. Shout out to you, Black Diamond. Shout out to everybody in the chat. But yeah, y'all, we like I said last night, I got something planned. I just, want to make sure it's right. I just wanted to come in and have a discussion with y'all. My windows stay dirty, I know. I don't know if it's the outside or the inside. Hey, but check this out. The thing is that and like I always keep saying, we go back and we find new things. We go back and we notice new things, or whatever. But when we go back, we have to examine, what is Irene really saying when she's saying, Monifa, why is you lying? You know I didn't leave the room. You know I didn't leave the room. Okay, we already know that she's trying to subliminally give us hints, tell on Monifa, because that's one thing she's steady saying. I didn't leave the room. I didn't leave the room. I didn't leave the room. So I had to go back and just listen to that, because that's something that she's trying to drill into us. She's trying to pound that into us. Again, we go back to the payments, the confidentiality slips. So, and just using our common sense, we know that what it is. We know what it is. We know what's going on. So with that alone, we take Irene, what she's saying. Okay, Monifa, you know I didn't leave the room. I didn't leave the room. I didn't leave the room. What is she trying to say? And like I said, y'all, and this is just my opinion. It always is. It always is. But I like it when we all come together and we put all our opinions together. We know what we find at the end of the pot. But I noticed how Irene kept saying, Monifa, you know I didn't leave the room. I didn't leave the room. This and that. So what is she trying to say to us? Could it be possible that Irene is trying to tell us that if she's steady telling us, look, I didn't leave the room, I didn't leave the room. So Irene, if you didn't leave the room, then there's no way in the hell. And I truly believe this is another hint she threw at us. If you didn't leave the room like you really, really want us to believe, then there's no way in hell, Irene, there can be you in that lobby walking up to that front desk. That's if you didn't leave the room. Y'all remember the video, not coming in the hotel, but going out the hotel. If you didn't leave the room, not going out the hotel, going up to the front desk, then coming back. Irene, if you didn't leave the room, there's no way that can be you. So what is she trying to tell us? Just like in mid-sentence, her last live, in mid-sentence, Irene said, yeah, Irene, I don't give a fuck what motherfuckers believe. Yeah, just like them videos, y'all switched them up and went right back to what she was saying. And luckily for us, we caught that, because it was out for a minute, but even before we caught it, I didn't see any videos, nobody targeting that. And when they released them lives, we was more so drawn into the fact that they was just talking, no matter what they talk about. And believe me, y'all, they know this. They know this. They know we chime in on everything that they say. Why you think in the beginning Monifa was selling her Instagram page, selling her Snapchat, selling it just because you got that many followers because of this situation? Now you want to profit off of it. But in your live video, you said you didn't want to do the interview with Zach because he was paying, but you was selling your Snapchat and all that. So what is they doing? And back to Irene. What is she trying to tell us? What is Irene trying to tell us by saying, I never left the room. Monifa, why is you lying? Why did you go back to the block and tell him Kanika was the last one with me? Why did you go back to the block and tell him this and that, I did this? And like I said earlier, we're not gonna cut any of them no slack. We're just gonna analyze what we got. Not everything that they give us, we gotta analyze what we got. Because if we keep analyzing what they give us, we'll never get, I mean, I ain't gonna say never, but hey, we've been down that road. We've been down that road. But here's the thing. Even with Irene, with the two different people in the video that we seeing, you can look at the shoes. You can look at the red and white Air Force Ones in the video and know that there's a difference right off the bat. Right off the bat. So what is Irene saying? Monifa, why is you lying? I never left that room. I never left that room. I never left that room. So if you never left the room, then that means that couldn't have been you that walked up to the front desk. And another question, if you never left the room, then that means either that live was done in the same room you was in, or it was done in another room. It was done in one of them. That live was done in one of them 3 rooms that was occupied that night. One of them 3 rooms that was having a party that night. That fake live was being done in one of them rooms. I never left the room. I never left the room. Okay, you never left the room, so what are you saying? What are you saying? And then Teresa Martin posted, when y'all first called me, Monifa, you told me that the only one was drinking with Kanika was you, and you had to pour her drink. I've been said that I believe whatever kicked off, whatever jumped off that night was jumped off way ahead of time. Way ahead of time. We already proved they lying about the phones, the lives. We can't trust nothing about them videos. Here's my thing with where we at today. If they trying to cover it up, which we know they are, they trying to cover this here thing up. They trying to cover it up. They trying to cover this thing up. Y'all give me 1 second, let me fix my thing. Okay, they trying to cover this thing up. And then they give us footage systematically released all the way from a couple live videos that's supposed to have been done at a party. A couple live videos that's supposed to have been done at a party. It stems from there. Actually, it stems before that. If we have to break it all the way down, which we have to do, it stemmed before that. It stemmed from the live video that was done from the movies earlier that night. So, okay, bam, Kanika go to the movies, supposedly. Here come Monifa saying, I thought we was going to the movie. Did you or did you not go to the movies? Because from what we know, Kanika went to the movies. And here you come saying you're supposed to go to the movies. So did you or did you not go to the movies? I don't care what angle we go to, what angle we come from. It's all going to boil back down to this thing here happened because of going to a party, supposedly, that Irene was having. Supposedly, going to a birthday party. And y'all, let me ask y'all this question. What goddamn type of birthday party was they having? We didn't see no cake, no balloons, no champagne bottles. How the average 20, 21-year-old in Chicago do, y'all, they turn it up. And I'm going to tell y'all this what I know for a fact. 21 years old ain't having no goddamn hotel party where they cooped up in a room. It was so many of them in that goddamn room, it looked like they was in a bedroom. Who in the hell gonna have a party like that? Especially at 21. At 21, with 30 goddamn people cooped up in a bedroom, that was a controlled environment. That's why it was shot like that. That's why they shot it in that room. That scene was controlled. That was a control. That's why. That's why it was done like that. Yeah, we gotta control and make sure you little motherfuckers do exactly what we paid y'all to do. Exactly what y'all agreed to do. And exactly what the fuck we told y'all to do. And here's something else to think about, because there it is again. No matter what we talk about when dealing with this situation, it's still going to boil back down to going to a party that Irene was supposed to have. So here we go. You got Jalen Ford supposedly being chased. We know they got paid. Was they chasing him to keep him quiet, or chasing him to rob him, or what? Was they chasing them to rob? We know they walked up out of that motherfucker with at least $5,000. At least. Some of them probably walked out of there with more. Depending on what role they played in the reenactment. I bet you Ty Rowland walked out of that motherfucker with more than $5,000. Ty Rowland from the block, he off the block. That motherfucker, he saw it was a ching-ching day for him, for real. I bet you, y'all saw how he was making them walk up the stairs, then turn right around and walk back down and all this. And then, why would they use Ty Rowland for him to control that scene? He was controlling that scene. His life. Now, let me ask y'all this. Now, and y'all tell me, do this make any sense? Because it don't to me. At Irene's birthday party, Ty Rowland had more footage than Irene. Do that make any sense? Do that make any sense? We would have thought it was Ty Rowland's birthday. The way, if you watch his live, am I right? Right. So why do we see very little of Irene video? And see, that's what I mean by every little time that we think that we can loosen that rope up. Every time we think we can loosen the rope up on these people, that means tighten it up. That's what that means. It means tighten it up. Every time we come across something, a video or some information, and say, oh, well, maybe this person, hell no. Because this person that we thinking about or considering about loosening the rope up on, they ain't saying nothing. They ain't saying nothing. Irene she really want us to know, or believe, I should say, that she didn't leave that room. So it just y'all, these people crazy. Monifa, why you lying? I didn't leave the room. I didn't leave the room. So if you ain't leave the room, who is that we see? Who is that we see if you didn't leave the room? You stayed in the room. Who is that we see? Who is that we see? Y'all, they paid so many people to when that Crown Plaza situation happened, they paid so many people. We probably just knowing or thinking about who was paid in that situation. That's crazy. That's crazy that the world even got to that point. And you got to think about it. What does that do to any community where you can't even, well, something real happening and the whole community suspicious about it? That was, and I've always said that, you know, certain parts of that situation was a military tactic. Look at the way they just tried to spin us off. Them people tried to spin us off like never before. Well, I ain't gonna say like never before. We just caught them. They was too sloppy this time, because I'm quite sure this wasn't their first time doing it. Even if they did it another way. Even if they done it another way. Or even if they done it that way, they was sloppy this time. They was real sloppy. Was they in a panic? Hell yeah, they was in a panic. Why? Because they had a whole entire family out there in that goddamn parking lot, in that lobby, saying we ain't going no motherfucking well. Y'all want us to leave? Show us why we should leave. Roll that goddamn camera. Pull the monitors up. Y'all show us, and if it's convincing what y'all show us, then we'll leave. But they couldn't even do that. Yes, they did. They did it to Andrew Holmes and then paid him and made him come out there on the news and say, yeah, I saw the girl, and just lied. Just lied. We can't say he ain't lied for no reason. He lied for a reason. He lied because they paid his ass. And you think Andrew Holmes, that was his first time lying about somebody getting killed or any type of case here in Chicago? Hell no. And you better believe it ain't gonna be his last. Because he didn't even give a fuck that we popped his ass off that time. He didn't care. We know he didn't care because he's still doing what he's doing. He's still doing what he's doing. But y'all, we gotta break. It's something that Irene is trying to tell us. That's why she keeps saying, I ain't go out that room. I did not leave out that room. Why are you lying? Monifa, why are you lying? I ain't leave out that room. Why is she drilling that? She's drilling it. She's drilling it. If these people trying to cover something up and then they give us something to go off of, right off the back, we know to approach with cautions. Right off the bat. Because not only they telling us it's not according to us, this is what they saying. According to us, it's not gonna get any type of results that y'all want. And not only that, there's nothing nobody can do about it. I mean, this is what they saying. So, and then they give us something and say, okay, y'all play with that. Can we really expect the people that got us in the frenzy, got us running all over the place, can we really expect them to give us any truth? Hell no, we can't. We can't expect them to give us nothing nowhere near the truth. Nothing nowhere near it. We can't expect them to give us nothing that even sound like truth. But that's why we gotta, that's why it's best for us to come together the way we do. And I said it, I'm gonna say it again. This here thing, this situation right here would never be a no one-man band type of thing. This thing, this situation gonna take hundreds, if not thousands. Who knows? Maybe millions, but thousands for sure of people to crush this thing. That's what it's gonna take. Thousands of us to crush this. And if anybody think that they can do this thing single-handedly, for number one, it would have been done, because we all dealing with the same information. So unless anybody can leave this planet and go get some information that we don't know nothing about or can't get access to, hey, more power to you. But in reality, though, in the real world, we all dealing with the same information. Now, it's good, again, when we all put our minds together and attack this thing. That's how we got to treat it. We got to attack it, because that's what they did to us. They pushed this thing off in our lives, which it should have been in our lives when it happened. It should have never happened. But the fact that it did, it was pushed into our lives. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And then the fact that this is the outrageous part, y'all, that I don't think none of us will ever be able to get over. I don't think none of us will be able to get over the fact that this situation happened, and people were willing to pay out money just for a cover up. Just pay out money. And be willing to go so far to keep the public from getting answers. I clearly remember way back in, it's probably in 2018. Could have been in 2018 when people was all over Facebook and YouTube saying, yeah, people was running back and forth to the ATM machine all that night. The hotel was going back and forth to the ATM machine all that night. Money was being passed. People were being paid off. I know y'all remember that. I know y'all remember that. Seems like just yesterday. That's why all this stuff's still fresh. That's why, and it's good at the level it is, because it's gonna always remain fresh on our minds, hearts, or whatever. That's why it's so easy the second, the third, fourth time or whatever. How many times when we go back and we re-examine, that's one of the things that make it easier. Is that, man, we remember that thing so much down the first time down the road, man, hey. One thing we know for sure is that they plan. So the fact that we know that they plan and they not gonna do nothing but play, what else can we do? It ain't too many different ways we can attack it, because we ain't getting nothing. And again, like I said, something else I said last night, earlier this morning. They show us the video of Irene going to the police department. nobody else. And then they come